Let's go. All of this I can actually hear because the car is just so quiet. Like seriously, I am actually like smiling, grinning, and laughing driving this car. I can actually outperform most of the cars on the streets. 360 view cam on this tiny micro car. You can completely fold the passenger seat like so. Welcome to CarSceneKorea. I introduce newly released Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. And as you saw from the thumbnail, finally, yes, I am finally test driving 2025 Hyundai INSTER, aka Casper Electric for domestic markets. Before you get all confused, there is this Casper ICE internal combustion engine car, which is a micro car called Gyeongcha in Korean, or if you are more familiar with Japanese term, K-cars, which was only offered in ICE internal combustion engine models with NA naturally aspirated engine and turbo engine. Once again, that is only for domestic markets. It's only here in Korea that this car is called Casper Electric. For rest of the world, actually called INSTER. I actually had a lot of people saying that Casper actually sounds and fits the car perfect. All those German fans and subscribers, viewers out there, let me know in the comment below what Casper means or sounds like in German. There has also been the copyright issue with the name, which was already claimed, so Hyundai had to come up with a different name, hence INSTER. That's a very long intro as always. I am super excited to finally get to test drive this car, and I think there is already a video of this INSTER versus Kia EV3, which also is a vehicle only sold here in Korea, domestic market only. And don't scold Kia too much because I'm 99.9% sure they wanted to sell that vehicle abroad as well. I know it will fit beautifully perfect on the streets of Europe and all, but the time has come. At least we all get this INSTER in Europe. I know North America, you are left out, but fingers crossed Hyundai Motor Group will bring this around the globe as well, because I know it's not just about giant pickup trucks. I know it's not just about the muscle cars, but some people do want a tiny grocery getter like this INSTER, right? Again, fingers crossed. It seems like everybody actually loves my first impression and first drive of the vehicle more than my exhaustive review. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, because it's number one first video of the anticipated car, because I already made a multiple videos on this INSTER. So if you have not checked it out, or if you are looking for the exterior and interior review of INSTER, it's all on my channel, also on my card, which I am giving you on the screen right now, so feel free to check it out. And I also have briefly didn't even test drive, I was in the shotgun, so I was actually in a moving INSTER a month ago. You see, I got the steering wheel now. All right, so let's go test out what this INSTER has got to offer. Let's go check it out. Well, for starter, the car does not come with wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I will double check with the cabled connection. I'll try to use a dongle that I use on my Kia Seltos, because my car also does not come with Apple CarPlay whatsoever, but that dongle from Mayton allows me to use Apple CarPlay inside my Kia Seltos. I've got an hour drive, so I will have plenty of things to cover in between my drives, but these I will be having a bit difficult time showing you, so let me show it to you right now. Tilt it up and move it up and down like so. If you didn't know, you can completely fold the passenger seat like so. I think I would actually have the passenger seat completely folded like this when I don't have a passenger, providing me much more visibility out that way. Like whenever I'm doing a shoulder check, it's going to help so much. Also, the sense of space I get inside the car is just completely different. If you are watching this after you got your INSTER, like, do give this a try. I don't really see this interfering with safety whatsoever in case of emergencies, because well, the trunk part is covered by the second row seat, so that one will work as my shield. You can always change your seatbelt like so. Since I have it right here, strong sunlight coming in. Let me show it to you. And this is, of course, is manual. You can also tilt the sunroof. Once again, I have a lot of videos, interior, exterior, so please do refer to that. Sorry, I just cannot get moving. Interactive pixelated lights, AC vents, very direct. Does not get any more simple than this. It's easy for you to attach your smartphone holders and such, but I think it's going to get pushed down all the way due to the weight. Look at that. So it's really sturdy. I don't think it's going to break at all. It's not sponsored whatsoever, but I actually do really love using the RAM mount right there. Casper is the first car that came with the shelf, so this got carried over to all new Santa Fe and later Tucson facelift, and of course Inster also got it and dropped down glove box just like that. I mean, seriously, how do you like this? I mean, I will have the seat folded down like that on my way. Let's see how it feels like. It really actually feels really great. You guys should really give it a try. I'm sorry, I know not everybody watches all of my videos, so I just gotta point out the really important things. There is also a clip right here, probably for your grocery, maybe for your purse. Shelf I just told you about, USB-A and 12-volt charging outlets right here. Everything is so very well positioned and compact in Inster for the obvious reason. C-type charging ports, nothing. There is no Bose premium sound system. This is all we get. However, it actually gets the job done. You can expect some bass out of the speaker. Like it's not bad. However, it's not there with the Bose level. I'll give you that. So it's wireless charging pad. You can charge whatever you can charge wirelessly, and it's very intuitive by right there with the lighting, and also it will show on the monitor that it's being wirelessly charged. Self-explanatory, all the buttons. I like the fact that a lot of things here are physical buttons. Not the largest screen you can get from Hyundai Motor Group because they have 12.3-inch monitors. That is the largest monitor you can get. However, this 10.25 gets the job done, no problem. A little pro tip here, if you need to control and do anything while you're driving, sometimes you do need to make a necessary change on the screen, right, as you're driving. A pro tip is actually hold your screen like that with your fingers and support yourself, and then just use your thumb to navigate through the things that you want to go in, just like so. Extra split monitor that you can set right here, just toggle up and down. Nothing special. This is what we have already seen from this display monitor setup previously. And I want to also show you this parking view cam, 360 view cam on this tiny micro car. Can you believe that? Comes with the BVM, blind spot view monitor. So using all that together composes this reverse lights. Even if you're not all that confident with your parking, you have all this view cams. And also when you get too close to the vehicle up front, the alert is going to let you know, just like that. The steering wheel, the drive mode, interactive pixelated lights. It will actually change the colors when you go into different drive modes, just like that, along with the ambient lights you see over there. Thanks to the shift-by-wire type, just rotate it to whichever direction you want to go. It's very intuitive. Push it in for parking, on and off button. Thanks to this shift-by-wire type, there is plenty of space here, nothing in the middle. You can also push the seats back and forth like this. You can freely move around and exit out that way, no problem. So let's really get started and get moving. The day has come. I am finally test driving Inster, and as you can see, it is a tiny car. You have no problem, and that actually is the ICE Casper. So that is the model that made it all possible and kind of gave birth to this Inster. So this is the ICE model. So that actually is a turbo model right there too, because you see an inlet next to the headlights. It means it's a turbo model. The NAs don't have anything. It just has a plain grille. As you just saw, it's really easy to maneuver and it's a great daily driver and grocery getter. No stress whatsoever driving around in cities, merging into the lanes, and you need to pick up some speed, right? Inster's got you covered. When you are making your entrance right into the intersection, it's a yellow light, you just need to pick up the speed and get out, right? That's when you desperately need the power, and Inster's got you covered. Car feels very light, but not the physical weight, but I am referring to how easy it is to pick up the speed, and there is no stress whatsoever, unlike the ICE models that just lacked in the engine power and also the transmission, because the transmission also sometimes is always trying to find the right spot for that right moment, but you don't have any of that with Inster. As you just saw, I actually turned on the iPedal. iPedal is one pedal driving of other manufacturers, if you didn't know, which allows you to literally drive with one foot only, or one pedal, I should say. I don't know if you are seeing it on this screen right here, but you see, I'll show you. Just lift your foot off and the car will come to a complete stop, just like that. On the screen, you'll see the iPedal engaged, and you can get into the iPedal by using the pedal shifters on the left. You can set your Regen brake using that, just like so. So come all the way down, you can actually have the iPedal on. So let me just double check. Yes, so if you use the pedal shifters on the right and go down to minus, it will use the least Regen brake out of this Inster, and just increase your Regen brake using the pedal shifters on the left. So you can set the Regen brakes all the way from level 0 to 3, which composes 4 different levels, and the 5th one is the iPedal, which is essentially the same as most of the Hyundai Motor Group EVs. Well, I say most because Kia EV3 actually also has different strength you can set with the iPedal. Well, which brings to the topic I kind of want to discuss. I was actually going to save this to the very last Q&A video. I know a lot of people will be debating Kia 3 over Inster and the other way around. Without a doubt, EV3 is actually an upgrade and superior than Inster, because there is no direct competitor from Hyundai just yet when comparing it to that of the EV3, but it will come. There will be the lower numbered Ioniq, and Inster is just one of its kind. As I have covered in my previous video, more of a direct competitor to this Inster will be Kia EV, which unfortunately is only sold here in Korea, and there is nearly 0% of that car being exported out. If you're curious, just check out my previous video. Speaking of which, there are a lot of traits and options and features that EV3 has over this Inster. However, I do want to focus about the Inster for this video, and the BVM just working beautifully. So those of you who actually need extra help when making lane changes and all, that BVM is going to help you a lot. I really highly recommend and encourage you to include this option if you can. Prevent one single accident from that. You get your money back, the investment you made on that option. And you can probably see it on the video. The car is very, very responsive, and I cannot complain a thing. Feels light. Not saying the car is light. The car does provide me a very good amount of confidence and grip when it comes to this vehicle. The car being an EV, it is heavier than the ICE cars, but I want to say that's an advantage for the Inster, because for ICE Casper, it was just too light, meaning that you just don't get enough of confidence, the grip, the feedback that you get from the tires, suspension, and the steering wheel. It just didn't cut it for me, and that surely is one of the reasons why I don't really enjoy driving micro cars. However, with the Inster, the car is about the same size, still is very tiny car, small car. However, it has the battery packs, so lowers the center of the gravity. I do feel that strong weight battery pack kind of pushing the car down, but in a very, very pleasant way, because it is supported with the power and the torque and instant response you get from the motors. All the downside that ICE Casper had is actually completely overcome, well, thanks to the nature being of an EV. I will soon also find out the ADAS and HDA that this car has. Inster unfortunately is not equipped with HDA2, which is the latest HDA, highway driving assist from Hyundai Motor Group. Being blunt and honest here, like, there is not so much of a difference between HDA 1 and 2 when you are putting the car on the straight corners and mild turns. It's only when you encounter a severe corners and turns where the HDA2 will shine. Of course, HDA2 is an upgrade rating is better in every single way, pretty much. You can't really complain about the HDA1. Just have that button on, which I will do right now. The moment I merge into highway, freeway like this, I always have it on, and you probably just saw it too. The car automatically sets to the according speed, the top limit speed, with a tap of a button. And I think I forgot to tell you that it is boiling hot here in Korea, just like it's been for the past few weeks, 35 degrees Celsius out. When you need to merge into lanes, just like that, the car can pick up the speed, no problem. Going back to what I was telling you, it is boiling hot here in Korea, so I am running the AC 24/7, and because of that, I'm not going to get the best battery efficiency possible, the driving range. The average I am actually seeing 5.8 kilometers per kilowatt hour. I know the car can do much better than that, and I know it is only going to go up. I'm not the most efficient guy, both battery wise and also internal combustion engine wise. And let's put it on the sport mode, see if that's going to make a bit of difference when you need to. And I do have the iPedal on, so I actually do really enjoy this instant feeling of the car responding when you just lift your foot off the accelerator and not. I actually am consistently having my foot on the accelerator right now, but depending on how you control, even if you have your foot on the accelerator, the car can actually slow down. So it doesn't mean that you have to completely always lift your foot off the accelerator in order to decelerate the car. No, you'll get used to this in no time when you hop inside and start test driving one. And merging into the lanes, you need some power merging into lanes, right? The car will give it to you just like that. Turn right up here, so let me also show you what it feels like on a turn as well. You see me smiling and grinning, right? You can have fun with this car, trust me. Like, I know it's a tiny car, front wheel driven and all, but because it just responds so immediately to your input, you tell what to do with this car and this car will do it immediately. A little bit of push on a corner, all right, you see? It doesn't even understeer. Like, that was not all that slow. I actually want to put this car on a toge, see how it does, but I feel like it's gonna be quite a lot of fun. It kind of feels like I'm driving that tiny small JCW minis. Like, I am the tiny car on the street, but I can actually outperform most of the cars on the streets, if you know what I mean. That's actually the vibe I am getting with this Inster. Whenever I need to, I can just pick up the speed, no problem. But even with that, the average consumption, it's showing me 6.5 kilometers per kilowatt hour. Oh my God. So I know this car can do over 7, 8. Fellow YouTubers and my colleagues actually have already clocked over 7, 8 kilometers easy with the Inster. So fingers crossed, hopefully I'll be able to show you that. This might be the first car. Well, let's test it out. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not gonna do anything special to get that number. I'll just drive, I'll just be myself and see where that takes me. All right, put the car into normal mode and just going to drive casually from this point on. When you encounter a car like this, you know, taking up all the speed, sometimes you just need to overtake, and check this out. Look at this. No shortage of power whatsoever. This feels well over 200 horsepower in ICE terms. Feels like I am driving early 200 horsepower, if not mid 200 horsepower, so 250 horsepower-ish car. Not sure if that will be really the case when I go head to head with other cars. I know it won't, because I know Inster also does take quite a lot of time to pick up the speed to reach that 0 to 60. So it's not a fast car by any means, but you will have fun with this car. It is fun driving this car around and just, you know, ripping down the tarmac. Like, seriously, I am actually like smiling, grinning, and laughing driving this car. Can you believe that? All right, so I've been driving some time now, 20 kilometers. I can tell you that it's not the most comfortable seat you will find out there in the market, let alone Hyundai cars, but it really is not bad, taking into consideration that you can completely fold the seat right here. And the HDA just reacts and responds flawlessly. Average consumption went up to 7.0 kilometer per kilowatt hour now, 7.1. now. When I start driving this in cities, it's only gonna go up. There is also ventilated seats on this Inster. And of course, heated seats and heated steering wheel as well. So this car has like everything that you can possibly expect from this segment, this category of a car. What more can you ask? Maybe faster charging architect Kia EV3 can do up to 400 volts, and other eGMP, electric global modular platform, which is the first EV dedicated platform from Hyundai Motor Group cars. The car can actually shoot up to 800 volts, which allows the car to charge from 10 to 80% in 18 minutes. But that is something this Inster is missing and is lacking. You probably bought and got yourself an Inster because you'll be daily driving this vehicle. It is unlikely that you'll be going very long distance drives with the car, but this Inster will actually take you to places too. You can actually go all the way down to city of Busan, which is the most southeast part of South Korea. It wasn't that long ago that the EVs can actually do that with a one single charge. This car, this Inster, can easily do that. From Seoul to Busan is about 450 kilometers one way. This car can easily do that thanks to the battery efficiency, also all the latest tech that Hyundai put in for this tiny Inster. I better shut up so I can post this video ASAP. Once again, drop in the comment below anything you are curious about so I can test it out and get back to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe CarSceneKorea if you did, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you soon, all right? Bye-bye. I just quickly had to mention this. Maybe I got a little too excited on my highway drive. I can actually hear quite a lot of motor sound coming into the cabin, but that is actually making the comparison to that of Kia EV3, which is the latest and last EV that I have recently test driven. And that car actually is made of eGMP and also has dual acoustic laminated glasses on the first row, and a lot of work on NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness. So it might not be a fair game to Inster, but just wanted to bring up and mention. So there is a bit of motor noise that I can hear when the car is decelerating and using the Regen brake to charge up the battery and so forth. I can live with that, and I don't think it's going to bother me all that much. All of this I can actually hear because the car is just so quiet. As you can see, right next to me is the construction area and unpaved roads. Just to give you how noisy it is on the outside, just a little bit of windows rolled down. So this versus that. And also, I will soon find out the freeway drive as well. So you guys be the judge and tell me what it sounds like. Is it too noisy? Is it all right? Is it something that you can live with? We'll find out momentarily. So as I've said, whenever you need to pick up the speed, just slam it. You can see, you see? I'm not doing anything. It is just the car Inster doing everything. And this is the Regen brake. You can probably see how strong it is. Guys, I need some space. Like, these cars are struggling, but I can zoom in and out and picking up the speed again. No problem. I can overtake these cars in front of me like without an issue. Let's go. And this, look at this. This corner, I'm not afraid at all. And that longer wheelbase also provides even more stability on giant, long, easy corners and turns like this. And don't forget, this is that micro tiny car. I have just so much confidence digging into the corners. Wow. I mean, it is a completely different kind of a fun. Like, it's not an end. I'm not talking about that ELSD kicking in, allowing me to dig into more corners and so forth, but the threshold this car possesses in terms of the cornering due to the lighter weight and also this power. Look at this. I can just pick up without an issue. I can easily pick up the speed, like no hassle whatsoever. And being a tiny car, I can just easily squeeze in. Look at this. HDA, Highway Driving Assist 1. I briefly told you about it at the start of the video, but no issue whatsoever. It gets the job done. no problem. Like, it takes away all the burden of you keeping the distance with the car in front of you. Pretty sure a lot of you guys have already tried it, and pretty sure you guys have it already on your car. I've been saying this all the time, but HDA suits and fits works the best with EVs because there is no transmission. HDA just responds and reacts immediately, like just like that.